very recently. He actually, according to my friend here, he says, my commentary notes say that he has not entered a tourney before net play. He's beaten tons of very high-level players such as Eddie Mexico, Bones, J-Flex, Toussaint, and Slug.
So you're saying Dark Horse to win the event?
Maybe. I mean, this guy is a sleeper here. One of New Jersey's best Peach players, if not the most highest ranked Peach player at this point. But yeah, a true net play era child. And here it is. I think his first event.
You'll be happy to hear Peach players. I'm not one of those Fox players who doesn't like Peach. I love Peach. So I'm happy to see Peach as you are versus SamBob today.
Yeah, you know, there was really, obviously, Triff is great, but when Armada left the scene, you know, there was that missing element, and I think that Peach is kind of undervalued in the post-Armada era of Melee.
Yeah, and I have to say, the way SamBob was moving around BBatts, like especially when BBatts was in shield in the center of the stage, was really impressive. I think BBatts might actually have a run for their money here.
Yeah, SamBob, MDVA Falco. He's got good wins locally, but I'm not sure he's ever been on a stage this big to make this kind of performance. But wow, BBatts showing a little bit of trouble adjusting to the IRL Melee.
Yeah, and I mean, a stage as big as Dreamland and 2 stocks ended that early.
Yeah.
It spells potential disaster. BBatts needs to find a way to extend the life of these stocks. Okay, yeah, I think the platform stopped him from threatening the zone. It's a perfect time to try to make his way back for BBatts. Yeah, reverse back air, really clean execution. It's actually not that obvious how you're going to send Falco back off the stage there. Okay, a grab. This could be big. The back air early.
Huge damage.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if SamBob did the DI to go back on stage by hitting 2 hits of down smash. But
well, if he didn't, then he got extremely lucky because we all know how easy it is for that move to send you hitting into the stage and stage spiking you and sending you below, which is about as worst case scenario as it gets for Falco again in this matchup.
Okay, yeah, tries to punish the forward smash. That plat's just a little too high to get up that fast.
You know, I've never really watched any of BBatts' stuff before, but I am not seeing any turn-ups, and I really feel like you kind of need those against Falco because of the discrepancy between the projectile games are huge. You need every little help you can get.
Yeah, one thing about Falco, especially on this stage, a lot of Falco's philosophies versus Peach is that it's less about what Peach can do to you and more about what Peach can't do to you, and that is approach through lasers easily. And so I think between the way SamBob's moving around the stage and the lasers, it is very difficult for BBatts to get anything started. And now we sort of see the opposite when BBatts has the stage, using that fair to threaten the area in front of SamBob, keeping him in the corner, but actually able to get out with a little bit of damage to boot.
That shine saves him from getting sucked into the washing machine there. Putting the pressure on with the down air.
Yeah, back air that's safe from... Oh, there's your turn up. It just didn't hit.
Yeah, seriously needed that to hit.
Yeah, the stitch too is huge.
Probably could have been a little bit more reserved with it, but the longer you hold it, the more obvious it becomes that you're about to use it.
Okay,
wow, nice string from BBatts. He really, really needed that. Let's see what he can do with it. That's a huge conversion for him.
Well, yeah, gee, I wonder how BBatts was able to beat all those strong players. Probably by getting punishes like that started.
137% is tough, though. 1 bair, 1 4 tilt. So much stuff can kill you. You got to watch out for Falco's down tilt as well.
You have to be so precise with your spacing not to just get hit by a bear. Yeah, there's the bear.
Great DI. Doesn't go super far into the magnifying glass even. I mean, that's a high percent.
I kind of like nice. I kind of like SamBob's approach to keep the center stage and tack on even more damage so that anything like an up tilt will kill.
And that percent, like we said, anything will get the job done. BBatts goes behind 1 game to SamBob to start things off here for us.
BBatts, I think he needs to close the distance.
I think I just oversold him a little bit on my pre-match analysis there, you know?
No, I know BBatts is a really strong player. I just think that SamBob is even stronger than I would have expected.
Big shout out to Sidward, by the way, from North Carolina for providing the bulk of my commentary notes.
Sidward.
My Luigi brethren.
Yeah.
You have probably seen him in the top of several online events. PR player in North Carolina as well. Be sure to check out his stuff. Thanks again, Sidward, for the notes.
And Fountain Dreams would have been exactly my choice. A close stage, still some survivability for Peach. And you can down smash on those platforms. Look, just going up there to do it, just to show that it's there.
BBatts already just way more in the face of SamBob here to start things off.
Yeah, I was going to say BBatts is pressing W for sure. They're
He
both
flow.
down.
He just got a little too anxious for it there, a little too much mustard on the hot dog, as we say.
Okay, yeah, a lot of forward-moving hitboxes. I feel like BBatts is feeling the struggle to get in and trying to just fight it with pure fire.
Lots of damage on down smash. We all know how devastating that move can be, up to like 55 damage.
Wow, and not able to cover the ledge. What a recovery.
Down tilt kind of underutilized by most Peach players. It is kind of quick, and it has almost as much stun as like a Falcon stomp on it, so it can really pop Falco up, especially for a nice nair or some kind of follow-up.
Yeah,
but,
like a wave bash back down tilt for sure.
Yeah. That was something we always saw Armada do a lot of. Mike G, shout outs to Mike G, the original Peach. He loved down tilt wave bash deck.
Trying to find his way to the stage. BBatts cooling it off just a little, but can we get the big punishes that we've seen so far?
Yeah, he wanted that big tech chase punish, but he just doesn't quite have the speed on fair. SamBob even in it back up here stock-wise.
Yeah, being able to pick up that up air is really important. And now, how does SamBob come back? It looks like he's running out of room on the side of the stages a lot, which is something that didn't happen on Dreamland.
Yeah, he's not really backing off with the lasers as much either.
Yeah, I mean, you probably can't afford to, but also it seems like it's making him uncomfortable. I'm getting that sense.
Yeah, sometimes you need, even if you're not necessarily leading or not, even if you're not in the same stock, you need that kind of moment of lasering to kind of just let yourself think about what's next. You know, Falco has that privilege. A lot of characters don't.
And not able to make it back. Nice down smash to close it out. We have a small lead for BBatts.
Yeah, BBatts showing us a little bit more of his toolkit in this game, and it seems like he really does not like turnips. He likes to more use the float canceling and the aerials for pressure, and yeah, I mean, just a very different kind of Peach play from what I'm used to seeing, honestly.
You know, maybe not the most perfect. I think that blue Peaches tend to be that way, like more than other colors. Can't tell you why. They like to use their moves.
Back in the Smash World forums days, this was referred to as Vampire Peach. I don't know why, but this is what people called it, so maybe bloodthirsty.
All right, BBatts with a nice last stock to close the game. And we have a game 3 again.
Much better game for him. He seemed to be a lot more on point. I don't know if this is only his second pools match or what's going on, or you know, if he was just warming up in that first game, but we definitely saw a lot more of what I felt like his genuine play style was in that game.
I hope BBatts, for his own sake, banned Stadium. Because a lot of the time you ban like Yoshi's, but I think that benefits BBatts. Yep.
Yeah.
So probably ban Stadium.
Because when he was eliminating the space, he was doing very well. And this just eliminates a little bit more space. It's a little bit, you know, easier for him to get to Falco and put hands on him.
Yep. And I mean, the downside for Peach is your survivability you had on the last 2 stages is gone.
The tree stage on Stadium is really good for Peach, so I will say. And an early spike sends BBatts to an early grave.
BBatts has never played a tournament tree stage before.
Yeah, right. I don't think so, anyway. You know, I will say that one thing I've noticed about BBatts, like that, he really goes for that falling fair or falling reverse fair a lot. And there have been moments where I feel like he's missed it by only a frame or two or a moment or two. And maybe that could be an adjustment from online to RL play, but I definitely think that a lot of these punishes could have ended in stock loss if BBatts would have hit the falling fairs he's going for.
Well, there was another falling fair. SamBob was able to wait for it, get it back here to close out the stock. He's now 2 stocks up, although in the hands of BBatts, not able to turn around.
Yeah, see, the fairs just aren't there for BBatts where they normally would be for you know, most of your play.
And you can see he really wants to smack him out of the air. But staying elusive is SamBob.
Yeah, SamBob's actually showing a lot of comfort in this matchup too. Like, he's showing a lot of respect for the times you need to respect Peach. I say that as he jumps into the #1 Peach thing.
Well, so I think he felt like he had earned the ability to jump onto the platform because of how much he's respected Peach. Like the way he backed off there, trying to stay just out of the range of dash attack. He needed a slight overshoot. Like, he's doing all of those things right.
Yeah, and he's up a full stock, so he's just pouring that damage on now.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe the reason the fairs aren't connecting is because SamBob's doing such a good job of seeing them ahead of time and respecting them and shielding when he needs to and rolling away when he needs to. Because that's a devastating move for Falco. It's all about getting Falco off the stage, as most of us would know. Get those Shy Guys out of my face.
SamBob is doing such a good job of... I feel like the horizontal space is difficult for Falco in this matchup. Like, Peach has a really big back air and fair, right? But SamBob is maneuvering inward just enough that he can play the vertical game instead and either fall with a down air, rise with the bair, etc. And it's gotten him so many hits and so many combos started. See, he goes onto the platform and he just slowly, incrementally moves his way up so that a shield drop won't hit, and then ends up getting the punish like that to close the set over BBatts in losers already.
SamBob Game 3 sends BBatts to losers, like we said, super early. I think if you do follow, like Juicebox looking at the camera with the O face, yeah, I think if you do follow online Melee pretty closely, you would be pretty surprised by that result. But SamBob showing that he, especially in his home turf here of MDVA, is nothing to shake a stick at.
Like, look, there it was again, getting into the space where he could play the vertical game.
Yeah.
SamBob, I think, like, understanding the matchup, and that is a really strong versus Peach set for Falco in general.
100%.
Very impressed by SamBob. I'm excited to see what he does this weekend.
Especially at this level, like if you're looking for mid-level Peach, mid to high-level, mid-level Peach Falco matchups to watch, this was a pretty good example of how to play that vertical space and how to shut down some of the best tools Peach has in this matchup.
Yeah, it was so cool. And I wonder if some more turnips would have helped, like you said. I don't know the answer to that. I often think turnips are less worth it than Peaches tend to say in matchups like this one or versus Fox or whatever.
Right.
But I'd be interested to know. I don't know BBatts well enough to say whether in the comfort of his own home would he have pulled more turnips.
I'm certainly not a Peach main myself, or even a Falco main. But when I watch a ton of Melee, and I feel like when I watch Melee, a lot of times a Peach player doesn't necessarily always need to have a turnip in their hand, but if they do have a turnip in their hand, they've got that little something extra that they can just throw out at the end of a string. They've got that little something extra they can have after a nair or something like that. A lot of these nairs that did not kill SamBob, if a turnip was already pulled before the nair hits, who knows what we could have seen for the ledge follow-up.
I think the way I would put it, the way I'm picturing the matchup, is that maybe as Peach you don't go get a turnip like you would versus Marth. Like against Marth, you would go on a platform, pull a turnip like far away, right?
Correct.
Against Falco, I think if you have the chance to get a turnip, maybe you should take it.
Any character with this much speed and ability to kind of get into your weak zones, like we were talking about, diagonally from below, like Connect 4, that's really where you want to attack Peach. She had a lot of time in that matchup where she